Hey everybody, I hope you're well. I've just been going through some of the comments on the last video that I put out on this channel. And there's one particular comment by a long-time subscriber of my main channel. His name's Daniel, and he's brought up a point about the change in style and direction that I've recently gone in on my main channel. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to go through a couple of the reasons why I've made that change. Now, first and foremost, the main problem with the old how-to style that I was doing was that I was becoming very bored in sort of the edits and the process. And while I do appreciate obviously that a lot of you guys do enjoy that style, at the end of the day, if I'm becoming lethargic in the energy because really I'm just getting tired of repeating the same thing over and over again, my level of production is just going to slowly decay, and I imagine I would eventually just get tired of it altogether and just give up. So, well, don't get me wrong, I understand that you are essentially my customers. You're the most important people. At the same time, I can't give 100% when I'm doing something that I'm not actually enjoying. So I do feel like a lot of people are looking at the old style, and potentially that's why they've subscribed, and sort of thinking this is what we subscribed to the channel for. But as I say, me as the creator, if I'm not happy and able to put in 100% into it, I feel like I'm going to be doing you guys a disservice more than anything. And even though right now things might seem like they're tracking okay, as I say, personally I feel like the excitement is starting to wane, and it's really just a downward spiral from here. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we're ruling out that style completely. I do want to bring it back because I do want to insert my personality into the videos. That was always the goal of this. It needs to be in a slightly different capacity, and at this stage I'm still working on how I'm going to go about doing that. Now, in terms of the actual style itself, and the reason for choosing this as a preferred direction for the future is, and I really don't want to come across sounding preachy here because this is not what I'm trying to achieve, but I feel like a lot of creators put how-to videos up for one of two reasons. They either do it to show something new and exciting, and you, for example, Andrew Klein with his folding miter box joint, really cool idea, and that in itself carries the video. Or the other type of content creator is the one who's purely trying to entertain you with flashy imagery and really nice cinematography. The goal here is for me to find somewhere in the middle where I can satisfy both of those parties. Because there's a lot of content creators who do one or the other. But there's a couple of people who do both, and those are the guys that you see in the upper echelon of, sort of the subscriber numbers. And I think it's really easy to fall into one of the two categories and become complacent there. And when I started, I was very much in the camp of it was just about putting a camera on what I was doing, and that was sufficient. But very soon I found myself watching my videos and just thinking, this is so boring. It's so boring. I mean, I'm doing these projects and I'm making these things, which are all great. I'm ending the video with a thing, which is fantastic. It's really cool. But the process and it was a process of sitting through the edits to watch them was so boring because I wasn't entertaining myself. There was no value in it besides what I got out at the end. And then I remember seeing a video by Carlos from Cactus Workshop, and I've already had a few people compare this new style to that, which I guess is just coincidence. I mean, my inspiration did come from him, but in no way am I trying to copy the guy. But I remember seeing a stool, it was a cut off from a tree slices, and he turned it into a stool. And I remember seeing this video and all the B-roll that he put in. I think it was a trip to Turkey. And I remember watching this just thinking, that is so entertaining. I've been shown how he's made the stool. I don't need to know how to make it because it's fairly straightforward, but he's shown me how he's made the stool. But he's given me so much more at the same time. And I remember seeing that thinking, that is what I want to go with. That's what I want to be doing. And it was a few months after that that we came up with the dramatic log cut challenge. And that was where I really tried to hone that approach to filmmaking. And I felt like it really worked. Now, the reason I never continued down that road was because I made the concrete countertop video, which did really well. And to be honest, I thought, if this is what people want to see, this is what I'm going to do. And I took that approach, and I thought, if this is going to get me the numbers that video got me, I'm going to carry on with that. Which in hindsight, I'm not going to say it was a bad decision, because in terms of business decision, it's where the market was going. So I followed that, which I think is fair enough. But it wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. And that's why I say it feels like the channel has just slowly declined since then, because my motivation has gone out the window. But the video just before the concrete countertop video, I did a video about a garden bed that I made at the back. And I really tried to focus on the cinematography. And it's, in my opinion, it's one of my better videos, but it just hasn't got the recognition, because straight after that, the concrete countertop video came out, and then I started pursuing the more standard how-to. So the goal at this point right now is to take a how-to video and try and show you guys something interesting. I know it's really difficult to do that week in and week out, but at least show you something practical, and then take a film style or take a cinematography style and combine the two together. So for someone, for example, in my last video where I released the planter box, for someone who knows how to make a planter box, they're still going to get a little bit of value in the storytelling, the cinematography, the style, all of that. They're still going to get something out of it. And that is the goal with the new direction of the style. I'm not trying to push how-to the side. I've still got website articles and instructable articles explaining how I do everything, but the video itself should be treated as a film. And now the second reason for the change in direction is one that I want to be very careful when I address. And this is why I'm putting it onto this channel, because I'd like to believe that the people who are subscribed to this channel are the ones that are invested in the channel, and invested in almost my personal life and the choices that I make. So I hope you don't take this in the wrong way, is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, this entire YouTube channel and everything that goes along with it is intended to be a full-time business. So the moves that I make are intended to put the channel on a trajectory where I'm going to end up doing this full-time. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to make all the decisions in my best interest, but at the same time, it also doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be making decisions in your specific best interests. Now, obviously, I want to make you as happy as possible, but in terms of growing the channel, there are going to be decisions in the future that might go against what I've done before. So when I started this, 2 years ago, I was doing it purely for the love, and I think everyone starts like that. But now it's started to get some legs, and I've seen that I can make, honestly, I could make some good money on this if I play my hand right. So when it comes to these types of decisions, it's not necessarily about doing what I want or being selfish, or it's all about me. It's about making a business decision. And at the end of the day, that's what this is supposed to be, as a business. So obviously, you guys are my shareholders, so I do want to keep you happy. But at the same time, don't look at me changing my style necessarily as he's forgetting about us, but rather see it as he's trying to improve the business. Obviously, when it comes down to it, if I can make good decisions that improve the channel will continue to grow, and I'll be able to give you more content, which is the ultimate goal, of course, and to be able to put food on my plate doing what I love. Now, I think a lot of people are going to associate what I've just said with selling out. And again, this is why I've put it on this channel, not necessarily on my main channel. But this isn't selling out. This is called putting yourself in the right place at the right time and moving the business forward. I used to be in the music industry for the last 15 years, not so much in recent years. And I started playing in punk bands, and I I remember in those days how easy it was for people to sell out. But in hindsight, looking back, those people weren't selling out. They were trying to turn their passion or their love for music into a career. And it's very easy for people to get those mixed up with selling out. I'm not stopping what I'm doing entirely. I'm just making minor changes to improve the business itself. And if anything, going back to the first point, this is ultimately what I want to be doing. So by not doing this, essentially, I'm selling myself short. So if you are one of those people in the camp hoping that the channel will go back to the old style of how-to videos, as I said earlier, I'm not going to necessarily rule it out, but for now, I would just hope that I have your confidence and your trust, and that you do understand that this is not because I'm trying to be difficult or because I'm necessarily just chasing fame. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make this channel grow, and in order to grow, there are some changes that I think needed to happen. There needs to be some life sort of put back into this, and this is exactly what's happening at this moment. So thank you, Daniel, for your comment. I do think this is a point that I needed to bring up, and I hope that this answers your question a little more thoroughly. And thank you to everyone who's been watching the videos up till now. I do plan on using this channel as a bit more of a behind the scenes for the main channel, and maybe just more of a bit of a personal look into my life, you know, with this YouTube channel. But I will continue to bring up the more divisive topics that I've been doing up till now, because I know a fair few of you have been enjoying those. So thanks again, guys. I hope you're all well, and I will talk to you soon.